Hey guys, welcome back. Final thoughts on It Happens by Stefan Feld. So, a little disclaimer first of all. Stefan Feld is probably one of my two favourite designers at the moment. The other one being Antoine Bowser, which I hope I've pronounced correctly. Stefan Feld is obviously known for his kind of his Euro games, his things like Amerigo and Bora Bora and New Bruges, Macau. And this is obviously very different. This is I mean, clearly you can tell by the artwork and by the simple gameplay, this is a family game. The stats, by the way, it plays two to five players. There is a variant to play two players that I forgot to mention. But basically, what happens is each player has their own five dice, and then they each have two dice of one of the other colours. So, for example, you might have the players might playing blue and red, so they'd have their blue dice and the other players have red dice, and they'd each have two yellow dice as well. And on their turn, they can choose which one to roll and where to place it. So essentially, there is a third player that both parties are controlling. So it's a nice, easy variant. It's pretty fun. I've played it with my son. So it's two to five players. It plays well. The box is 8+. My son is 6. He can play it very easily. Again, it's rolling dice. It's placing them on a mound card, and it's counting. And it's super easy. The gameplay time, it says around 30 minutes, which again it's pretty much spot on. So what do I think of the game? I think let's give you my opinion as a gamer first of all. So as a gamer, this wouldn't see a lot of play if I was into really heavy games. This clearly isn't scratching that itch. This is more along the lines of something like Zombie Dice and those kind of light games where you can kind of set it up, you can explain the rules. I think it took me 5 minutes, but I was probably babbling. It would probably take a couple of minutes to explain the rules, and then you can play and you can get going. It takes up minimal space on the table, which is awesome, and the box, I don't know if you can tell particularly, but it's pretty small. It doesn't take up much space in the cupboard. So as a gamer, this just it wouldn't be something I would look at. However, as a family gamer, I really enjoy this, and not just because it's by Stefan Feld. Um, if you've ever read my blog, one of the things I talk about on there is what I think makes a great children's game, and that is something that first of all plays with open information. Because if it's got open information, you can always help them and suggest things without it completely breaking the game. For example, I will give you a for example. We play Ticket to Ride, and when we play Ticket to Ride, we play that my son's cards are all open, including the destination cards, the ticket cards. While that's fine, and while it plays well and it's enjoyable, it kind of takes something away. Something about that mystery of where is he trying to get to? Well, we know where he's trying to get to, and in fact, we're trying to help him get there. Which means sometimes you can't even go out of your way not to block him, just because you know where he's trying to get to. It happens there is no hidden information. The only hidden information there is the scoring chips, and even then, there'll be plenty of people out there who would say, well, you can keep note of what the score is, and you can do if you can be bothered. Um, but otherwise, there's no hidden information. It's rolling a dice. You all see what's rolled, and then we can give advice. And it's what I love about these kind of games is, and why I'm such a fan of board games. Um, for example, my son recently he's got an iPad now, which he plays on a little bit, quite a lot. Um, and he enjoys it. And it's great, and it probably teaches him stuff. But there's not that opportunity to sit down with him and discuss the game situation and um, what his possible moves are, and so therefore board games, especially like this one, really give that opportunity to say, okay, right, so you rolled a 5. I mean, I kind of did it there when I was doing the run through of you run a 5. Well, I could put it here, or I could put it there, or and this is what it will do, and you can kind of start bringing in things like probabilities. If you place that dice there, what will your total be? Okay, right, what have I got at the moment? Okay, so what will I need to be able to beat you? Okay, so I need a 5 or a 6. Okay, and not explaining that that's a 1 in 3 chance or anything, but just kind of getting to think that, you know, and getting to understand that a 6 is a lot harder to get than anything 2 plus. He already understands that instinctively, but actually kind of putting it into practice, I just think this kind of game can really teach critical thinking, logical thinking, working out what your best options are, working out when to take a risk and when not. Do you use those reroll tokens? So red got, also I think it was yellow, got quite badly hurt in the end when they rolled really low, and had no reroll tokens left. And actually, if I was playing properly, I probably wouldn't have burnt all those when I did. But those are the kind of lessons that board games can teach. So I love board games, especially like this one, where they have lots of small decisions to make over the course of the game. This one you're rolling more or less 5 dice over 4 rounds. So that's 20 dice rolls, give or take, if you're using re-rolls. And it just gives that opportunity to make small decisions, which in the grand scheme of things, they're not that painful because they're so small. If you misplace a dice, it doesn't really matter. So you can probably tell I'm quite a big fan of this game. In the right setting. So if you're a family gamer, this is definitely one to consider. Now it is worth pointing out I have asked both my wife, who isn't particularly a gamer. I've converted her slightly, but she's not really massively into games. But I've asked her and my son both what they think, and actually strangely they were both, it's okay. I think the reason for that is probably something to do maybe with the theme. Stefan Feld games, let's face it, theme doesn't massively matter. But here you're an anteater eating termites. How you place dice on that doesn't massively mechanically connect brilliantly to the theme. Why if I place a dice there do I get whatever it is? So I can't see upside down. Why do I get a boot? Or why do I get a bone when I place it there? I guess okay, that's him reaching down with his trunk or nose, whatever it's called, and that's what he finds. But what's the dice placing about? But yeah, I think maybe that's why it doesn't massively grab their attention. It hasn't got particularly cute components like Takenoko. It hasn't got that strong theme like maybe X-Wing or Dungeon Roll. And possibly maybe it's slightly too long. Maybe if it was 3 rounds rather than 4, maybe it would be maybe they'd prefer it a little bit. But again, it only takes 30 minutes, so I don't know. But having said that, it is one we do play. It's almost that really great game to play just before bed. If you've got half an hour left before bedtime, you don't really want to start getting out Legendary because it takes about half an hour just to set the thing up. But this is perfect. You can get it out. I say it takes 30 seconds maybe to set up. Shuffle these cards, empty my component bags of the other things, give people 5 dice, and you can start. So I'm a little bit surprised they're not more enthusiastic. I'm certainly probably more enthusiastic than they are, but I do really enjoy it. The other thing, obviously, it really helps with counting. You're counting the whole time in this game, rolling a dice. Right, what's currently on this? Right, what does Mummy currently have on this card? What will I have if I place it here? Okay, and then even at the end, and what I really like about this, these tokens. These tokens, which are just all different values. Which, when you're counting, and Benji comes home from school, and he's learning to count by 2s, he's learning to count by 5s, he's learning to count by 10s. That's great, but now you're adding 3 plus 7, and then adding a 4 and a 5 and a 6. They're all different values, so it really helps learn how to count. Which again, at the age of 6, is brilliant. That's kind of all I've got to say really about It Happens. It's a game I wasn't expecting. I should point out I got it for free, not by the publisher or anything. It was part of the Amerigo Kickstarter. It probably isn't one I would pick up otherwise, and I certainly hadn't heard much about it on the Geek or anything. But yeah, maybe this video has given you some ideas. Hopefully I've shown you how to play it. I would definitely recommend this if you're a family gamer. At least check it out. I'm not sure what price it goes for actually, but yeah, if it's, let's say, around the £20 mark, I would certainly consider it at least. But yeah, otherwise that's it. Um, I'd be really interested in hearing any feedback either of the video, either the playthrough video or this section. It's the first video I've ever done, so I would be very interested to hear some feedback, good or bad. If it is bad, please be gentle. Otherwise, that's it. So that's it from me. Board games of the family. Take care.